Sri Gurubhyo Namaha children. Good morning to all. See here we are welcoming you to online class. We are going to see today 4th unit of 10th standard prose, the Attic, Satyajit Ray, written by Satyajit Ray. Children, you know that Satyajit Ray was a very good author. Before that you see this, you are seeing something, it is able to see what all the words mentioned here. Yeah, I am hearing it is victory, character, honor, compassion, respect, life, faith, conduct, honor and advice, forgiveness, family. So, these all have been given words, and from these words what you understand, it is a family related story, and this story tells you that natural for human being to make mistake, and at last you have to rectify your mistake. That is very much important. When we realize our mistake, sometimes we will not. So, making mistake is the human means you will be making mistake. If you want to make a mistake, you have to realize that. So, suppose without knowing you will be making a mistake, or knowingly also sometimes we will make mistake. We have to rectify our mistake. So, that is very, very important. So, rectifying a mistake is very, very important in our life, children. You have to realize your mistake and you have to change yourself, you have to mold yourself, and you have to do your best, and whatever your mistake you have done, you have to ask forgiveness to. If you hurted somebody or some people, you have to ask sorry, and somebody hurted you, you have to forgive them. So, these all is needed in one's human life, children. So, that is the thing it is said in this story. Okay. So, I will just start with the story and an introduction in this part. So, we will have separate parts, children, we will be having. So, in this first part, we will go for an introduction. I will just tell a story for you. See, suppose if we happen to make a mistake. See, for example, there was two school going children, and one was getting first rank, the other one was getting second rank. Now, suppose if the first rank holder is always getting first rank, what will be the mindset of the second rank holder? So, you want to beat and you want to do some thing. So, sometimes some will be taking in a positive way, and they will be saying that I have to learn and I have to do put my hard work and hard effort, and then I have to complete my work, and I have to do like that. They will be doing, and they will be putting their effort, and they will be getting mark. And some will be in a negative way, they do not want the first rank holder person to get a first mark. So, what they will do? They will be just stealing their book or their notebook, or sometimes they will play all tricks, and they will make the first rank holder to get a second mark or third mark. They will be just going in a negative way. So, as a student we must not do this. So, it is related like that. Just imagine the one more thing. Suppose if your friend got a first prize and you did not get a prize, and you want to show that first prize to your parents, and tell your parents that you only got it, and when your friend is asking you to return the prize, you will be saying that I will bring, and you will be keeping in your home, somewhere hiding that gift or prize or whatever it is. And the same happen in this lesson also. It takes 29 years for a person to realize. So, he is realizing after 29 years, and what a mistake, great mistake he had made, and he rectified his mistake after 29 years. So, that was the just theme of this lesson. So, when as a student he done some mistake, and it takes him 29 years to rectify his mistake. So, what he had done, he had taken a small praise, the first praise for his friend what he got, and he told his friend that he will be showing to his parents and return, but he had not returned it at all. He just put the praise in his attic. You know what is a attic? You will be having a place where you will be just keeping all your unwanted things, or storing some things which is you want afterwards, not at present. You will be just storing those things, you know, that place. We will say paranai like that. So, it is attic. There he went and kept the praise, and if totally forgot, or I do not know, 29 years after, when he goes to the place, he realized that is the praise of his friend, and he goes and just sells that prize, and with that money he goes and helps the friend. So that was the story we will be seeing, children. And first to know that we will go for the reading of author, knowing about the author, and then we will start the lesson. Okay. You can see, children, this is the author. His name is Satyajit Ray. From 1921 to 1922 was an Indian filmmaker. He is an Indian filmmaker, screenwriter. He is a screenwriter and a graphic artist. He is a graphic artist. So he is related with the cinema, film. He was very much interested, and filmmaker, screenwriter, a graphic artist, music composer and author. So music composer and author, and he used to write also. So this lesson had been written by him. He was born in Kolkata. He authored several short stories and novels meant primarily for young children and teenagers. So most of his stories are for young children and teenagers. It will be having some moral and some mistakes what they have done in early, and they are correcting. So like that his stories will be. And he received the children's magazine Sandesh. So here he started, revived the children's magazine. He was running a children's magazine, its name is Sandesh, and which his grandfather had started in 1913. His grandfather started that and he continued that, and edited it until his death in 1992. So till his death in 1992 he was editing that magazine. Ray was more interested in writing rather than filmmaking. So he is a filmmaker, but he was very much interested in writing, and he was a good writer. So he more interested in writing rather than filmmaking. His stories have been translated in Europe, the United States and many other countries. Ray received many awards, including 32 National Film Awards by Government of India. Notably, the Padma Bhushan in 1965 and the highest civilian honor Bharat Ratna shortly before his death. So before his death he received a prize called Bharat Ratna. You know that it is the highest prize for the writers. He got that prize before his death. And he got in 1965 he got Padma Bhushan. Padma Bhushan is other award, he got that also, children. And 32. Ray received many awards, including 32. So he got 32 National Film Awards by Government of India. So you know that the government will be giving for the best film award. He got 32 times for that films. So he got 32 awards, film awards by the Government of India. Notably, he got Padma Bhushan and in the year 1965, and the highest civilian honor, Bharat Ratna, shortly before his death. So we will see once again about him, children. So where he was born in, he was born in Kolkata, and he authored several short stories and novels it is meant for children and teenagers. And his birth was in 1921. He was an Indian writer, that is very important, and a filmmaker and a graphic artist, a music composer and author. So he got you can see him, how nice he is. So he was the author we are talking about. So it is clear, children, we will go for the lesson. Okay. So here it is natural for human being to make mistake. When we realize our mistake, we shortly try to rectify them. If you get a chance to rectify your mistake or pay back for it, what would you do and how would you correct it? Suppose if you happened to do some mistake, and if you were having a chance of correcting it and doing rectifying it or repaying it, children, what you will do? I believe I am getting a positive answer from you. You all will be correcting yourself and doing the correct thing or rectifying it, or you will be just repaying for the mistake what you have done. So, if you are a human being and if you are an honest person, you have to do this. I believe you are all honest and very good children, you all will be doing. So, we will go for the thing, one paragraph alone we will continue in this. And Aditya and I were returning. So, the I here refers to the narrator. Aditya and I were returning from the site of our new factory at Diogen. We were driving along National Highway 40. We had reached a point where the road bifurcated. If we drove 10 kilometers along the road that branched off to the right, we would reach Brahmapur. I asked Aditya whether he was interested in revisiting the place of his birth, which he had left after he had passed the matriculation examination from the local school to continue studies in Calcutta. So, he had studied in the local school in Calcutta, and Aditya and the narrator were returning from the site of our new factory. They were just grown up now, they are just going for a factory, and after going for the factory they were returning. On the return there was a two road. So, they were driving along a national highway, it was a national highway and there was a road. We had reached a point where the road bifurcated. So, it was bifurcated means two roads diverged, and one is leading to their home way, the other one leading to the village called Brahmapur. It is a native place, it is a born place of Aditya, and the narrator was asking him whether he want to go to his place, born place, to see the old things, what are how the village and the place and the school and other things and all. So, he was asking him, we had reached a point where the road bifurcated, if we drew 10 kilometers along. So, the same way when they just going for a 10 kilometers, the road that branched off to the right, we would reach Brahmapur. So, they will be reaching the place called Brahmapur, and it is the birthplace of Aditya. And I asked Aditya whether he was interested in revisiting the place of his birth. So, he is asking whether he is interested to go for revisiting the birthplace of him. So, what is the answer from him? Which he had left after when he had completed his 10th matriculation examination. So, after that he went to Calcutta to settle and he continued studies in the Calcutta. So, in Brahmapur he had completed his 10th standard, and he was asking whether it is possible for him to continue the place and see that place, revisit and see his native birthplace, and whether he is interested. So, he was very much interested to go. We will see whether he is interested to go or what. Okay. When I left our ancestor 29 years ago, so he was telling that 29 years ago he left the place. So, you just count not 1 or 2 years, it is 29 years, and the house was almost 200 years old. So, he left before 29 years of that place, and he went to settled in Calcutta for his studies and his job and other things. And now they have stayed in a house where which is 200 years old. That house was 200 years old, and recollected Aditya. He was recollecting his grandparents where ancestrals were staying. It was a 200 years old, that house which they were staying and which they left. And I doubt if even the school building, which may have undergone many changes, will be recognizable anymore. Trying to revive old childhood memories may prove disappointing. So, now he was thinking that house which they stayed there was 200 years old, and after that 20 years before they left the place and they went and settled in Calcutta, and he want to revisit the place. Before revisiting, on the way he is thinking how the house will be, and his childhood days he was remembering. After remembering the childhood days, he was thinking whether the school days will be nice, and they want to recollect, and they had a school and the friends, the teachers and the person who were there staying, this all were there, and he was recollecting this all in mind, and he had, see, old childhood memories may prove disappointing. So, you have to understand the word very clearly, disappointing. So, he had something hidden in the childhood life, and that will be disappointing him if he goes to the place, native place, and he will be just don't want to disappoint him. So, he was just traveling. We will stop here. What disappoints him and what are the reason for his disappointment? If he goes, how it will be? We will see in the next class and we will continue, children. Thank you for listening this.